Sure. So we have essentially 2 to 3 main programs here. So for our new hire program, our main business goal is to decrease ramp time. And that for us means time to quota. When I first joined, or really before our team started, it was about 9 months before sellers or reps were getting to reach their quota. So our aim was to decrease that ramp time. And secondly, we use it for go-to-market. So anything with new products that go to market, and the fact that we have to train all of our sales team, we're really contributing to the increasing revenue, product adoption, time to close, and that sort of thing. We also contribute to sales skills and consistency and go-to-market messaging. So a lot of that is making sure our sales team is saying the same thing, and also saying it confidently as they are in market. And then really finally, I guess the bonus is the sales sentiment around training. We didn't have a training function before this year, even L&D. There wasn't an L&D team, there wasn't an enablement team. So as you can imagine, our overall company pulse scores were pretty low previously. So we wanted to make sure that people felt supported and trained within the organization. Yeah, so I guess the first thing is like the simplest thing is that WorkRamp is simple. I think if anybody's evaluated LMSs, they are riddled with complications and options. And we're a small team, so it saved us time, and it's important for us to have all of us to be able to navigate a simple UI. That was very important. Too often, bells and whistles of an LMS that have been around for a while just get in the way of a user experience. So that was the first thing that I noticed when I tested WorkRamp. Second of all, WorkRamp prioritized all of the features that we cared about. There's a lot of things that we were nice to have, but not important necessarily for our sales enablement function. So when looking at LMSs, we definitely wanted to prioritize an LMS that cared about sales enablement more than necessary, or prioritized it more than the L&D part of it. So things like events, managing events easily with the tech stack that we use, to kind of tactical training and onboarding. Those were the things that we cared about the most. And I think third was our pleasant surprise of the size of your company. It's not too small where there weren't a lot of features, but it's not so big where we were kind of low on the priority list for features that we needed. And I think a pleasant surprise is that we've had a lot of ability to give feedback and tell you guys our priorities. And they were actually addressed a lot more quickly than we had with any other LMS we've had in the past. And a good example of that is our SCORM integration needs. It was super important for us to be able to use SCORM. That's not a feature that you had actually when we first purchased WorkRamp, but it was super important for us. And you have taken the time to give us a voice within your engineering org to actually get to the experience that we kind of were desiring and looking for and ask those questions. So I think that really says a lot about our partnership. We don't necessarily like to call you guys a vendor. We like to call you a partner. And I think that was shown in our relationship thus far. One of the things that was driving our timeline to get on board an LMS at all was our new narrative and go-to-market narrative for Reddit. It was super important. We have a growing sales team, and with the addition of COVID this year, we had to train the entire sales team in a remote environment. So my favorite thing that we've done so far is to roll out that narrative, and we kind of did it in a multi-phased approach. We did small group workshops, we did on-demand training, and we leveraged your challenges to get feedback from managers. So we really used your whole offering in that whole program, and it really went off without a hitch. We had 98% completion. That 2% was really people on mat and pat leave, which was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. It took very little for people to actually complete it. It made sense to them. The user experience was very seamless. We had so many good anecdotes on how impressed they were of the overall experience. And I do think that a lot of it has to do with how easy we made it for them and how easy the whole process was for them to sign up for a workshop, complete the courses, and complete the challenge without too much user friction.